On the air, everywhere.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's not Christmas time yet. It's not even Halloween yet. What are you talking about?
It's back to school time.
That's not a reason to be celebrating, and definitely not a reason to be playing Christmas music. Can we turn this off?
Okay, fine. But it is a reason to celebrate because with Back to School comes the 24th annual Back to School Blood Drive at Nassau Community College. In the past, our community has been able to provide a significant number of blood units per year to help meet the needs of the Long Island region. So come on down to the multi-purpose room inside the College Center building on the campus of Nassau Community College on Thursday, September 13th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and do your part to maintain a safe and secure blood supply.
Blood donors must be at least 17 years old and in good health. For more information, call 516-572-7401 or visit ncc.edu.
Our society has countless images, ideas, and stereotypes about change agents. People who help an organization transform by improving business process and interpersonal interactions. Whether influencing fashion, business, art, entertainment, science, politics, or law, these change agents have and continue to positively impact today's society on so many levels. And today, we are proud to share the story of these business owners, coaches, innovators, and thought leaders from various industries who are eager to educate, inspire, and motivate you. This is Our Voices on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Our Voices, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the owner and co-founder of Dressing Roommate, co-host of Woke and Free, and the lifestyle editor of Plus Model Magazine. And this show is focused on highlighting the amazing work of powerful change agents who have a great message to share with the world. And today, I'm deeply honored and excited to be speaking with a woman that I know and love and can't get enough of. Who am I talking about? Sherry Sims. She's a career strategist, leader, influencer, and the founder of Black Career Women's Network. And she's also a native of Oklahoma City, deciding after working 12 years in the human resource industry as a corporate recruiter and HR generalist that she wanted to utilize her experience in a different way. So she made the transition to become a career strategist and discovered a new passion for helping people strive for career success, specifically Black women. So without further ado, how are you, Sherry?
I am doing great, Natasha. Thank you for having me on. I just love your spirit.
Thank you. Well, listen, as a woman who's a part of the Black Career Women's Network, I'm really excited to have you share your story as to how, this amazing community became to be. And we'll take it there. So first question out of the gate, share with everyone who is listening, what is the Black Career Women's Network and how did it become to exist?
Sure. Black Career Women's Network. It is a national career development organization. We support African American women in their professional growth. So everything we do is surrounded by helping them to elevate themselves in the workplace, whether it's understanding how to navigate office politics, gaining clarity and confidence about who you are as a professional so you can make sound and strong career decisions, because I think it's important to do that. But also for people who may need mentoring or coaching to go to the next level. And also we want to make sure that we are teaching you how to become a leader, how to level up to becoming a really boss leader.
Okay. And what would you say are the biggest challenges that Black women are dealing with in their careers here, at least in the United States?
Here in the United States, it's the opportunity to really to grow into leadership roles, whether it is mid-level or C-suite leadership. We already know it's been talked about and discussed in the media quite often in reference to how we do not have a nice representation of us in, executive leadership roles. So I think that's probably where it starts. But before we can get there, we need to be trained on how to become that high-level leader, and that's what's missing.
Okay. And I mean, I'm sure it would be more than, a 5-minute conversation. But just quickly, what would you say are some overarching themes of that training that Black women and professional women are missing?
Well, I think one of it is how knowing when your mindset needs to change. When there's a difference between an entry-level leader, a mid-level leader, and an executive leader, and each level of that leadership requires something different of you. But once you get to that third tier, which is more of the executive level, it's more of a mindset that needs to be there versus the skill set. It's more mindset versus skill set. And so I think what happens is the women are not getting the training nor the education on how to do that. So they're getting the roles, but they're not keeping the roles or sustaining in the positions because they really weren't taught how to change and shift that mindset once they arrive.
Gotcha.
And I think it's important for women to understand and educate themselves on what that means. And then, of course, if they're unable to get the support where they are, that's what mentors are for. That's what sponsors are for. That's what organizations like BCWN and other ones that are out there are for, is to help you to get that professional growth you need to sustain those types of positions.
Okay. And in your own career, what would you say was some of the biggest challenges that you dealt with to continue to escalate and grow in your career and then eventually step out on your own and be your own boss?
I think for me, there were two things that I did not do well, and I can definitely admit that because I think we have to own our failures, right? Is that in the beginning of my career, I truly didn't understand who I was as a professional. And I share with women that we do have two identities. We have a dual identity that goes on as Black women, and this is really not necessarily about this code switching. It is more about the fact that we do have values from a personal standpoint, and then we have professional set of values. And where we're not clear on what those values are, or what's important, or what I want and need in order for me to thrive in the workplace, if you're not clear on what that is, you'll accept anything, or you may accept something and not be very educated on what it can do for your career if you do not slow down long enough to understand that. So for me, that was one. And the second was I didn't in the beginning know how to play the game. So I wasn't very savvy on navigating office politics because I was never taught that I needed to. So that's why I say when it's new levels, new devils in terms of leadership.
Yeah.
When, you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for what's next. What women don't understand is that the higher up the ladder you go, the more complex the situations become, the more complex the relationships become. You have more egos involved. You have more at stake. You're more visible. And so which means there's going to be more eyes on how you behave and respond and problem solve. So I was not taught. Yeah, I didn't have a mentor to share with me, Sherry, these are the things you're going to need to do in order to play at that level. And so that's where I failed. I mean, I can admit it here on the radio station. my very first leadership role, my boss flew in and fired me and said it wasn't working out, but never gave me an explanation as to why. And I said, I'm number two in the region. My performance review was great. Why am I being fired? And I was never told why. And it beat me up for about 6 months. I went back after 6 months of being gone and emailed my former boss and said, can you please tell me why so I can work on myself because I really feel awful about this. And he told me to let it go. Said, let it go. And I did. And then eventually, once I got my next leadership role, I then realized the reason why I lost that position because now I was back in a position to where I had to learn how to play the game. And that's when it dawned on me. That's why I lost my first leadership role because I didn't know how to navigate office politics. Workplace politics. I didn't know how.
Absolutely. You are listening to Our Voices on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse, and my guest today is Sherry Sims, career strategist, leader, influencer, and founder of Black Career Women's Network. Playing the game. So for everyone listening, what does that mean, especially from the Black woman's perspective?
Yes, what that means is that when you are in an organization, whether you're an entry-level employee or mid-level or tenured, whatever you are, you need to understand how to navigate through the culture. You need to understand what the hidden workplace rules are. You need to understand who are the influencers, who are your backstabbers, who are your snitches, because they're out there. But you also need to know who are your go-tos. Well, because those are the ones that when you are having trouble getting something done, your go-to person is someone that can be of allegiance or alliance to help you get those things done. And you also need to know who are the people that could be potential mentors or sponsors. Identifying those people as well, because they're the ones that can help you or teach you how to navigate through the politics of everything, if you got someone who's able to speak up for you when you're not in the room or not able to be in the room.
Okay. And how do you go about identifying those people? Is there like an internal checklist that you used, or was it just kind of model types of, this is someone for me, this is someone not for me, and then matching that, the model with the real people?
Well, I say two things. I say, one, you need to have your spidey senses on, right? So you need to start using your instinct, trusting your gut. Yep. But before you think about that, you need to make sure that the main number one thing you need to do is start building relationships. And when you start to establish relationships with people or peers or coworkers within your work environment, you should be able to quickly pick up on who is what. And so I always say, have a checklist of these particular characteristics that you're looking for, or people that you're identifying, the ones I just named off. Have a checklist and identify who could be those potential people. And that way you'll have an idea of who you need to set, clear boundaries with, and who you need to probably look to maybe put more effort into fostering those relationships from the authentic space.
Okay. And with the Black Career Women's Network, what are the services or the content that's generated and created, and events that you do that, I guess, help people, up their spidey sense game, also help them essentially understand a little bit about their work environment and who they want to be in their career?
Oh, absolutely. We have live webinars that you can listen to. We have a podcast. We do live events, an annual conference. Let's see, what else do we do? Awesome, good, fun stuff. I think our videos are probably the most popular because we get so many people after those lives are done. They get to watch the replays, which is good. And we do have an online community called The Collaborative. You're able to join that and connect with women, all over the U.S.
And how you mentioned earlier about mentors. And so what also is, I guess, the significance of growing more in your career with creating more sisterhood relationships? And how do you find that mentor that can help you continue to move forward in your career?
Well, building a strong network is the best way. Building a strong network, and not just building relationships within your workspace or within your organization that you work for, but build a network, a strong network of a diverse group of people. Of course, women that look like you, because they can definitely, share with you their experiences and how they were able to overcome and navigate and become successful. But really having a really strong network of women and even men, of course, that you can talk to and can help you through that. I think for me, that was one of the things I was lacking. I didn't know that you needed it. So I never looked for it because I didn't know I had to. And it definitely probably would have changed the trajectory of my career in terms of if I probably would have been successful earlier than later. But then, of course, things happen the way they're supposed to. But I do think that building a strong, diversified network is a very good way to find a mentor or a sponsor. And do not be afraid. Look in your industry, but also do not be afraid to look outside your industry for someone who can be a great fit.
I love that. Absolutely. I think that that's also super important because just because something's not your narrative doesn't mean that you can't learn and grow from that. And I think that you probably can get really interesting advice from say you're in education and the person is in marketing or is in entertainment or sales, right? Like there's so many different industries out there, and I agree that people have to step outside of their comfort zone and really and what would you say is the best way to embark those types of relationships? Do you use social media? Do you think in-person networking is key? I
think a combination of both. I think in person, social media, and then also, making sure that you're connecting through groups and community as well. Because what's great, Natasha, you go to conferences, I go to conferences, right? And so when you go to conferences, people see you and they say,